interview because I am joined here by my good friend Brady. He's my dog. He's a stubborn little guy, and so I just figured, you know what, life's not perfect. So I'm going to have him as a part of my video. Hopefully he doesn't interfere too far because I'm really excited to do this. Oh, here he goes. He's going to sit down like a good pup. So yeah, this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while. Where essentially I just want to kind of talk about goals that I've got over the next 10 years. The year is 2020, and so that just kind of struck me recently as like, you know, these are the 20s for this new millennium. And in the 1920s it was the Roaring 20s, which is a super exciting time. And so, you know, it just kind of brings to mind that you only get so much time, and that I want to make sure that I'm intentional with mine. And I thought a good way to do that would be to kind of do a video where I talk about different parts of my life that over the next 10 years I have goals for, and that I'd like to achieve, and really just to kind of have a documentary or documentation of who I was and kind of where I am at this point in life. So it is on the heels of something that's kind of been shaking the world at the moment, which was the passing of Kobe Bryant. He was a childhood idol of mine. Growing up playing basketball, the guy was just kind of everything I had found here at my home, 3720 Brady Road, Brookfield, Wisconsin, 53005. All of the old basketball cards that I had of him, as well as his jersey. And so it was just a reminder, at 41 years old, he died in a helicopter crash, that you just, you know, you never are aware of really when things are going to change for you. And so I'm excited to be doing this, and I think that that really drove home for me just kind of the purpose and intention and the point. So I'm going to read a few things here. It's just a fun little setup I've got with my camera phone, so I'm hopeful that the audio comes through well. And then my hope is to upload this and have it available so that in the year 2030 I can sit back and watch this and go, boy, you know, you had some things you wanted to get done, and either hopefully be able to applaud myself and say, well done, sir, or I'll have some things to be accountable for. So we're going to go forward with it either way. So I'm going to start off with, this is kind of a top 5 goals for the next decade. And I split them into quadrants. So I have things like family, health, faith, career, interests, as well as purpose. And so not all have 5, but many do. And so I'm just going to kind of walk through that now and have it out there in video land. So let's start off with family. I've been blessed recently with a baby boy, Charleston Randall Chalker, who is just the coolest kid in the entire world. He's absolutely chill, such a great temperament, smiles all the time. He's truly just the best thing that could have happened to me, along with my wife Samantha, and so we are just over the moon for this kid. And so I think the number one goal I have in terms of family is to be a patient and active dad, and that my hope is to bring Charleston along and live life with me, and live life together, because unfortunately I love my dad, Randy, and we're as close as you could hope to be for people who see each other once a year. And so I'm excited to hopefully have Charleston be a part of my life going forward, and it's very important to me. So that's my number one goal for family, is be an active and patient father with him. The second is my beautiful wife Samantha. I want to really come alongside and encourage her to be exceptional. She is an exceptional human being. She's the most talented individual I've ever met in my life, so effortlessly. And I've been just in love with her since literally the day I saw her picture in a yearbook. And so my hope is just to come alongside and continue to be a support system for her as she continues on in her journey, both in her career, but really in her life. I just want so badly for her to continue to just enjoy the life and the time that she has and do the things that she wants. And so I want to be there for her in that way. I want to spend as much time as possible with my parents. I am just so blessed right now to have all of the parents that I know alive and doing well. So Larry, Megan, Jim, Corey, Randy, Pat, my entire family really is still with me. And so I really, over the next decade, want to spend as much time as possible with those folks. They're all pretty young, and today people are living longer than ever, but I don't want to miss a minute. I'm aware that I am in the good old days of life, and so I want to make sure that I am there to spend time with them as much as humanly possible. And so that's something that I'm going to really keep intentional here over the next decade, is to spend as much time with them as I can. I want to be kind and a good example for the next generation. I realize now I'm an uncle to many. I'm a father. I'm still a brother. I'm a son still, but I just, for the next generation, I want to be the person that they looked up to, because I had just incredible mentors. My aunts, my uncles, they were just people that I got to really emulate as I grew up and take incredible lessons from, and so I want to be that to the next generation, so that's very important to me. And then the last is I just want to hope that we can use our home here. I'm in the basement today that we redid and we love. I'm going to hope that we're able to just host and be able to be a place where people can gather, both for Thanksgivings and Christmases, but just other events. We're able to have people over to enjoy this home and have a full table, and that's very important to me as well. So I'll jump now into the health side of things. Brandon, I want you, in 10 years, you're going to be 43 years old, which seems impossible, absolutely impossible to understand now today, even though you get that you were 23 and you're 33 today. But I want you to be in the best shape you've been in. Prioritize fitness, activity, and healthy living. You see the path. You see what's happening in the world. You know that the folks that are able to live that healthy lifestyle live longer and live better lives. So you want to be that 43-year-old that everyone says, I can't believe you're 43, you look like you're 20. That's the goal. So work out hard and really make sure that you stay active, because it's important and it's going to help you feel better continuously as you go on in life. With that, the second goal is keep your diet in line. You know it's a problem. You know that you've struggled with it. You've recently had a nice stretch, I would say, where you've been trying plant-based eating. So keep up the momentum, keep up the work, because you know the path and you know what you need to do. You just need to get better diligence around those activities. And then the second part of the diet is to expand the palate. Sam is an incredible cook. You've had incredible meals in incredible places, and I would really just continue to encourage you to eat more different things. You've gotten better at it, but don't stop. The world is full of just colorful, tasty treats, and so just make sure that you continue to expand that. Be mindful and work to be your biggest advocate. So this is in relation to some health things that you've dealt with over the past number of years that you don't quite understand and that there hasn't seemed to be a remedy for. You're not uncommon in that. That happens to so many people. But just be your biggest advocate. Take what you can into your own hands. So do the things above. Stay positive. Keep, hopefully, your health and your opportunity in your own hands to the level that you can. Doctors are incredible. There's an incredible medicine that's coming out, incredible advances that are super beneficial and we're so thankful for. But let's just make sure that you do your part, because from what you believe today, that can be about as critical as anything in a preventative manner. So be your advocate. You see, right now, I've got a bunch of hair, and I don't feel like any of it is going away. I'm very, very thankful for that. So have a full head of hair. Don't be afraid to take Rogaine. Don't be afraid to do the things that help you keep your hair, because you love it, and it's a cool thing, and so just do the same work. And on that same level, the fifth goal is have seeing and hearing at the same level they are today. Secretly, sometimes you fear that your sight is going to change, but you can do things, I think, to help that, and so continue to be proactive in the best way that you can to do better at that. So then the next category I'll talk through is faith. It's something that's important to me, but that admittedly has been something I struggle with. And so today I'm trying to set up some networks to talk to people of faith and friends to be able to help me through some of those things, because that's the solution I have to it. But I do have some goals in that category. And so the first is just to let go of logic and lean in on faith. I think the problems that I have are so based out of logic. They're just a manner of, I believe what I see is what is real, and so to not see means something isn't. And that's really what faith is all about, is just believing in the unseen and knowing. And so I just want you to work on your faith. Understand life is a blessing. Understand Charleston is a blessing. Understand that there is a God, and you are so blessed to be a part of knowing who He is, and that you want to continue to pursue that in your life. So lose the logic, lean in on faith is the first goal. Second, be an active member of a home church. You saw this as your family growing up, and you saw the benefits of it. You've been intermittent to this point on a home church here in Brookfield, Wisconsin, but dig in and really invest, because there's community there, and there's an opportunity to find people who think and who feel the same way you do, and there's community values. The second is to set up a network of peers to connect with. I'm sorry, that's the third goal, which I am doing at this point. So continue that. We'll see where it goes, but exciting so far that I have just a myriad of great friends to be able to reach out to and set some conversations up like that. And then, be an influencer, number 4. and act faith forward. You've been given the privilege of connecting with a lot of people and hopefully having a voice in the community, in multiple communities. And so be a faith forward leader. Be someone who people know is putting their faith out there, because I think you can influence others and show a model that people will appreciate, and hopefully will be able to find their own journey and their own path through what you do. And then the fifth is go on a mission trip with your family. Let's just see if within the next 10 years, you, Charleston, Samantha, and who knows what other beautiful addition to the family there may be, or a couple additions to the family there may be, but go on mission trips. Serve in the name of the Lord. Those have been super beneficial as you grew up. So just keep a focus on that kind of going forward. The next category is career. So there aren't a ton of goals here, but it's just been interesting the way career has manifested itself to this point. Started to just read a book called The Second Mountain, which I think will be helpful in understanding kind of the next path forward. But I tried to provide some things here that were goals, but admittedly they're not the major focus, and that's a change in place. I'm in a good spot right now career-wise. I have an incredible job, and so I'm hopeful and thankful for that. But these are some of the things that I had to say about it. So hold a role that provides flexibility along with the compensation you want. Gee, isn't that the goal of everyone? Today I have it, and I hope to continue to have it. But hopefully I'll be able to, as I go forward, seek out opportunities that are able to pay me at the level I want while maintaining this flexibility, because I've learned a valuable lesson that flexibility is so key, and it really just puts things in perspective. The second would be maybe have an amount of side revenue. So maybe doing a vlog, maybe doing some life coaching. I've got some skills that I think I was given by God to help with others, and so I want to utilize those, and I realize that I have done so to this point in life, mainly in a volunteer capacity, and so I think there's an opportunity to possibly monetize on those just to continue to earn a living, and who knows, be more generous with what I'm given. And then this is kind of an interesting one, but it's find a hidden gem to travel to, as well as possibly create an Airbnb. So if I'm being proactive, I do believe there's opportunity to secure kind of a destination location where we can use it as a family as well as monetize it. So I put it in the career bucket because I think it could actually be a revenue lever. So again, these are a number of goals, and I think that'd be very cool in 10 years to have a vacation place that we'll be able to use and get some dollars out of. Which kind of leads into the next category of interests. So these are things that today I've just been so sporadic throughout my life of all the things that I want to do, and I need to get more specific, and I think I have a path to that at the moment. And so these are the things that at least today I would say I have the path on the most, and that I'd like to make a goal of accomplishing and staying focused on. The first is travel. I really have had so many incredible travel experiences to this point, and I want to have more, as I know Samantha does. And so travel goals would be to get to Australia or New Zealand. I think both would be incredible. I think it might also be interesting to go to Asia to just see what the Orient is all about. And I think that as we do that, we want to have a focus on nature and the beauty of nature, as well as culinary. Those are two things that we've kind of, Sam and I, determined we believe are very important to us. So have a focus on that, and the goal would be to get to those places and enjoy trips with those component parts to them. The second would be around water. So I don't know what it is, if it's a generational thing, but I just seem to be so attracted to water and enjoy it so much in different capacities. And so really to just focus on learning and activities around water. So I've really had a chance to do a lot of jet skiing over time, but I think I'd like to really continue to make that an emphasis point if possible. I've really started to follow surfing recently. I think there's just a beauty in it and a kind of calm to that sport that appeals to me, and so I want to continue to learn a lot more about that. So focus on those two tenets around water, surfing, jet skiing. The outdoors, in the same vein as the third here, biking and hiking are two hobbies that I've really enjoyed, but I want to dig a little bit deeper into. So, whether it's finding cool places to hike locally, or again, sometimes this will mix into the travel and into the water. The key would be to try to combine them all together, which I think is a very exciting proposition. Interest-wise, number 4, on the house. So complete Camp Chalker. In 10 years, I want to have Camp Chalker at a place where we are using it, hopefully for bonfires, hopefully for fun. I think it could be such a special place just to see the stars and have bonfires with Charleston and his friends, and us as a family, maybe have campouts. I just am really energized by the potential that could be, just because our house has such a cool history and such a cool landscape. I'm excited. So get Camp Chalker done. And then to really focus on space. So a lot of cool things going on right now with SpaceX, and commercializing going to the moon or Mars. And so I've started to be fascinated just by space and by interstellar knowledge. And so I'd like to dedicate more time to that. So, get a little space or star tradition is what I wrote down, but making sure we observe it, making sure we know when cool things are happening, getting the thing that you look into to observe the stars that will come back to me later. And so I just think to really make a point of that. From a technology perspective, so I've got an amazing retro game collection just behind this camera here today. I'm really looking forward to continuing to dive into that and find things that are enjoyable. It's been super fun just to find the niche and kind of have that nostalgic feel. I've got a number of systems, and so we'll just see. I've got a goal to continue to grow that and really build up that, not only just games and inventory, but get into the community and find networks of people who are also interested in it, which I've started to do a little bit, and it's been really fun. So I'd like to continue to pursue that. And then expand the video library. So it's stuff like I'm doing right now. I have it on my heart to create, kind of a video series called Our Time, where I'm able to interview friends, hopefully in this setting, and just talk to them a little bit about who they are, what they've done to this point, and just celebrate them. Because one thing I cannot stand, and it was illustrated with this Kobe Bryant situation, is simply that people don't get celebrated until they pass away, which is not fair, and it's unfortunate. People need to know how special they are and be recognized long in advance of that, if not many times throughout their life. And so I'm going to really work on that, and I want to do it via video. And so my goal is to expand that video library so that in 10 years I have a number of them. Hopefully they're very well done, and people will be able to have an asset for the rest of their lives that they enjoy. So then that kind of is the end of the interests category. From a purpose perspective, purpose was the last of my categories, and so I've been working on a mission statement through a mentor of mine who had kind of brought it to my attention to do a mission statement and really be intentional about it. And so I've got 3 kind of things written on there at the moment that are official, but I've also got a couple listed on here that I'll just note for today because they are goals, and maybe they'll make it onto the official list, but I like them. So today, the official mission statement for my life includes 3 things, as I mentioned. So it's live a life undefined by geography. That's acknowledging we live in the technological age, and that although I was born in Texas, live in Wisconsin, and society is still set up as though your geography is your limiter, you can meet people all over the world, engage with people super easily, and so I want to just live a life undefined by geography. That's my goal to continue to pursue. I want to help change the narrative. I sincerely believe that what is said can affect what is, and so if you say and speak positive things to people and help them and give them encouragement to accomplish anything, I believe they can do that. And conversely, if you say things negatively to them, or you say that they can't, I believe that happens as well. And so I'm really focused on changing the narrative, not only for my family, for myself, but also for anyone that I'm close to. I want to really just speak life to them and speak their ability and encourage them, because I believe you can actually speak it into being. And then the third is to optimize time. Time is all we have. And so my belief and my goal is to optimize it to the best that I will be able to do. And so I believe it is a optimal circumstance to have a 10-year goals video. And so I've been intentional, and now I'm making it happen. Have I made it as quickly as I would have liked? It's been on the list for a few weeks, so it's not. But I think that it's coming along, and so just optimizing time is super important to me. So those are the 3 that are on the list today. Likely in 10 years, by the time this resurfaces, there will be others, and so I'll be able to have added to them and had kind of a fun story to tell. But at this point, those are the big ones. But I did also write 2 additional on there that I think are important, and that is to create and foster deep and authentic relationships. It may be just a natural part of life as you get older. I'm kind of gleaning from those that I consider peers that are slightly older than me, that you start to wind down your ambitious 20s self, where you connect with a lot of people and you start to go deeper. So it may be somewhat natural, but I'm finding it's important to me, and so I have a goal in terms of my purpose to really be authentic with people and meet them where they're at, and also be there for them and speak life into them, as I mentioned. And then the third part of that is to bring energy and inspiration to move things forward. I don't know necessarily why I'm wired this way, but to this point in life at 33, I have just continued to feel compelled to push forward anything. Work projects, volunteer projects, whatever the case may be. It's just been something in my brain that motivates me to continue forward and make better or move on. And so that's something that I have as a part of my purpose, because I found success in it, and I think the initiatives that I've lended my time and talents and treasure to in that capacity have benefited as a result. And so it feels like an important part of life to have purpose and to continue to do that for the things that matter. And I'll already say, so I have this little notebook with these things written. I've been keeping this open, just kind of on the table. And it's super helpful because it can kind of just keep things in perspective as you're going about your day-to-day life and you're very busy. Sometimes just referencing or looking down at this is a reminder that stay focused, right? If this isn't on the list, now's not the time. And that's both hard, because it's hard to acknowledge that you can't do everything, but also very freeing because you know specifically what you need to do. So those are my goals explicitly as I mentioned them. I would just say to myself, so it's January 29th, 2020. I'm 33 years old. I have an incredible wife, an incredible son. My parents are all here. We live in a beautiful home. I've just been so blessed to this point that I would love to say thank you to God for everything really that I've been given. And I just pray that the next 10 years of my life, I can continue to be thankful and really just accelerate and excel in what I was put here on earth to do. And so the idea being 2030, maybe I'll make it January 29th. At that time, I'll sit down and watch this video, and I hope that you can say to yourself then, Brandon, that you were diligent and that you were intentional and that many of these things you've set out to do you have done, because what an incredible thing that would be. Hopefully you've surfed all over the world. Hopefully your son's been with you. Hopefully people are with you at the same time that you formed authentic relationships with. Hopefully you have community or eating tasty food, and that you're just progressing the world. That would be a really special opportunity. And so let's keep pushing for it. I just want everybody to know, if you do see this, that I love you. I love everyone so much, and I appreciate you all being there for me, and being my family and being my friends. And I'm going to assume that no morbid thing will happen to me, so that this won't ever have to be something that's shown in a sad capacity, because then you never want the video to end. But the video is going to end. It's 23 minutes, and so I think that'll be good enough for now. As I say, I hope to have more of these, but I appreciate if anyone else ever watches it. Thanks for taking the time. I love you all, and we'll sign out for now. Brandon Lewis Chalker.